Good morning and welcome to this morning's episode of the Amateur in the Morning. I am your host, the Forex Amateur, and as usual, we're going to break down my view of the charts, the synthetic indices market, as well as the Nasdaq equity and the dollar index futures. So I've obviously reshuffled the format, and I've been doing the dollar index and the Nasdaq first. So I'm just going to keep with that sort of format and just continuously do it in that way. It seems to be much more fluid in that manner. But before I get into the charts, let me throw in my little disclaimer. Remember, I'm not qualified to offer financial investment or trading advice. Everything I speak about on these episodes is purely my own opinion. I do not recommend any specific trade or action. So if you do trade live funds on your side, do it with cash that you are willing to lose, as well as ensure that you've done your own analysis, because the truth is you could lose your entire investment. So let's just get straight into the charts, and let's talk a little bit about the dollar index, right? So the dollar index yesterday, we did speak about more downside on the dollar index yesterday, a probability of a pullback as well as what we spoke about yesterday, purely because of what we were seeing on the lower time frame charts. I think I actually had dropped down to the 1 hour, if I'm not mistaken. And I did say that we will most likely get a pullback yesterday, right? So looking at the dollar index, you can see that actually played out really, really well. And you can see even into today as well, we're getting a lot of bullishness. I did highlight this level in here, and I said this is the point where we'd be looking to see sales re-enter the market at around this area. So we can expect this pullback to come back into that area for the duration of today going into tomorrow. As you can see, if you drop down to the 4-hour chart, you can see we formed a significant low here, broke a bit of structure here with this bullish move to the upside. Price has done a really deep retracement, which is obviously not ideal in this situation, so just be a bit wary of that. But deep retracement aside, overall, I am looking at possible bullishness on this market coming back into, say, the 90.3 area, which is more or less that area that I've highlighted on the daily time frame. Not really much more we can speak about over and above that, because like I said, the purpose of these episodes is purely just to guide you towards identifying daily buyers for educational purposes as well. So looking at this on the 1-hour chart as well, you can see very clearly that we had this significant structure that was created here with a proper push to the downside. We see price forming some sort of a double bottom in here before pushing up and breaking market structure to the upside. So what I would be expecting to see is price respecting this level here of structure, which has been broken. So you can see this was the last high to be broken up, and then it pushed up above that. But obviously we've done a very deep retracement. So we're looking at around this area in here. As long as price does maintain this area, we're still looking at bullishness to the upside. If price does break to the downside, overall we want to see this low sort of respected and price not breaking below this low. So what I'm looking at for today is most likely a push up from here up into that area. Dude, come on. Right. You're not cooperating. Okay, so push from there into that area, or push up from here into that area overall, as long as the bullishness does maintain in this market. If it does not, then obviously we'll be looking at a break below this low to signify proper continuation in terms of bearish momentum. However, that is highly unlikely, because we do see a depletion. Even if you look at the weekly time frame, right, you do see a depletion of bearish momentum as the market does come to the downside. We did get this bit of an explosion in here, but as you can see, it was just this one big candle that we saw where there was a lot of volume, and then we can see the volume sort of die out as it gets closer to the bottom. Overall, my projection is still that the market will reach this level in here, but it's just a matter of giving us that small pullback and perhaps looking for an opportunity to participate in those continuation sells to the downside. So with that being said, let's move on to the next chart, and that will be the Nasdaq equity. Let me just remove this for a second. It's just messing with my OCD. From there. All right, so cool. So let's move on to the Nasdaq equities, and then we'll move over to synthetic indices. These sessions are becoming a bit more fluid, and the reason for that is because we've obviously covered much of the analysis already. When I did the first episode and into the second episode as well, we've covered much of the analysis that we need. Overall, the analysis sort of just leads up from there, and it sort of builds up from there as we do it on a daily basis. It's just a continuation of what we discussed yesterday. So it then becomes very easy for us to continue with that. So looking at the daily chart on the NASDAQ yesterday, I did speak about this level in here as being the level where we will see price sort of find some sort of support and keep it above this level. As you can see, we did see a big bearish candle yesterday. Obviously, speaking about what we spoke about the day before yesterday, which is a continuation of that bearish momentum. We did see that lead up yesterday, and for that, I'm just going to drop down to the H4 chart so we can speak about that. So yesterday on the H4 chart, I did highlight the structure in here as a structure that we will most likely see when price comes back to it. It will start to find some sort of resistance. Over and above that, we drop down to the 1 hour time frame as well. And we spoke about this specific level in here where I anticipated that we will see bearish momentum stepping in from that level in there. We did speak about a bullish retracement off of this level as well. So pretty much everything's been discussed on here. I remember I even highlighted this low in here as well, where I said that if price doesn't reach this area, the area that it will reject from will be this. As you can see, this line obviously doesn't serve any purpose because price has come right into our zone where we would have had a very, very beautiful entry. Unfortunately, I do not trade this full time, right? So I'm purely doing this just for you guys that are watching it on a daily basis. And we'll be looking at targeting this level in here, right? Why would I be targeting this level? Because this is where that significant demand came in on this market. This is where the significant demand came in. Yes, the rejection happened from the bottom in here, bullish engulfing candle off the bottom. All of those things happened in here, but where do we see the volume increase in the market? It would be at this specific level in here. So what I always do is I target before this level, or if it allows me to, if it's a good enough range, then I'll target the wick of this last candle. In this instance, obviously, we can see the volume entering right from here, and we have this bearish candle right before that. So that is a really good level to be targeting. You know, if you've got a much better entry in here, it improves your risk to reward ratio, whatever it is. But like I said, not the purpose of these sessions is, the purpose of these sessions is not to give you trades, but purely just speak about bias, right? So looking at the daily time frame again for today, I'm still looking at NASDAQ probably pushing up back to come and retest into this level and then maybe giving us another push to the downside. Overall, let's just be wary of this wick that we can see in there, because as I always say, when I see wicks like this, chances are in most cases then none, price will come back to fill that wick. So speaking about what we spoke about on the dollar index as well, I think it was we were looking at a pullback, right? A further pullback into this level that we spoke about. Let's just have a look at that again. Yeah, we were looking at a pullback on the dollar index. So we should expect that the NASDAQ equity, speaking about the correlation again, we should expect NASDAQ to continue displaying more downside in this market. As you can see in here, we have this break below structure. I will not be surprised, however, if price does do a bit of a deeper retracement before it pushes back to the downside, because remember, it's all about taking as much money away from the impatient and giving it to the patient. So in trading, you have to be the patient guy who sits on the sidelines. I've had multiple instances in the synthetic industries where I've pulled the trigger too soon and I've missed out on really good moves because of just being impatient. So it's important to just wait and see, right? When you see price coming into your area of interest on a higher time frame chart, drop down to a lower time frame to see those confirmations. Even then, drop down to a lower time frame to find an entry. When you're finding your entry, look for breaks in structure in the direction of the trade that you're looking to take, so that you are able to get the much more confirmation, because remember, price is in a higher time frame area of interest. It's displayed mid to high time frame confirmations. And when you drop down to that lower time frame, all you're looking for now is for that momentum of the higher time frame level. Provided that it is a significant level, provided that your analysis is done in the right way, provided that you're looking at legitimate areas, you'll be able to allow that higher time frame momentum to carry you into profits on the lower time frame and sort of keep you in profit. So it's going to allow you to have a much smaller stop loss. It's going to allow you to do all of those things. So like I said, trading is all about taking money away from the impatient and giving it to the patient. So just sit and watch your analysis, sit and watch your areas of interest, and when the opportunity arises, that is when you pull the trigger. Let's move on to the volatility 25-1S. So we did speak about it yesterday. I was looking at this specific area here. I'm not really sure. Yeah, I think I did highlight it on this. Yeah, I actually highlighted it on here. Did I? Not really sure now. Lost my train of thought. But looking at this, right? So yesterday we spoke about this continuation further down. I think I had highlighted this level down in here as a level that we will be seeing this market retrace to, or pull back to, or trade to, if you want to call it that. I see on the weekly time frame that we've got a transition into a bit of a bearish candle. Looking at the daily time frame as well, we can see it reacted very strongly off of this level that I spoke about on Tuesday or Monday, I think, one of those days. Just go back and rewatch the episode. Looking at the 1 hour time frame, because obviously that's what we can base the majority of our projections on now, is we've broken quite significantly to the downside. So let's just have a look at the 4 hour chart. We can see a very significant push to the downside. So we most likely expect price to come and retest somewhere in here, right? Because this was the last structure that was broken. Come and retest somewhere in here, and then continue to the downside if it is continuing, or push back to the upside if it is pushing back up, right? Like I said, this is still a level that is untested at the moment, right, where the entire move started. So it's expected that price would most likely reach here at some point, right? Can happen now, it can happen after price pushes all the way down, it can happen at any point, right? I'm not in the business of telling you when it's going to happen and how it's going to happen. My goal here is to purely just highlight what I see, and you can just take that back into your own analysis on your side and see what it is that you're able to do with that information. So looking at that 4 hour chart, we're just going to be looking at that significant area in there to see what we can get. Overall, we should expect price to push a bit deeper down into this area here, because this, I would expect, is just a bit of a pullback here. You can see no significant structure in this push to the upside, no volume in this push to the upside. So we will be looking to see what it wants to do. Perhaps price will just sort of give us a bounce into there and then come deeper into this zone in here, which is something that you can expect, right? So something like that. Give us a bit of a bounce into that area and then come back down into this level in here, and then we'll see what happens from there. So overall, that's what my outlook would be for today. Looking at the daily time frame on volatility 100. So I highlighted this pink zone down in here, and I did mention a couple days in a row now that we will most likely see price come back into here. I have obviously given you my thoughts on what had happened if the market was to go bullish before that, but overall, I have been speaking with a certain level of confidence that price will most likely reach back into this zone. As you can see, it is very close to this right now. So I am still waiting for price to bounce into this level in here, and then I'll be looking to make some trading decisions on what I want to do, right? Because I am anticipating that perhaps price will come back into this level in here on the weekly time frame. So I'll be looking at this daily time frame to see, once we get a bounce into here, then I will be dropping down to perhaps the 4 hour or the 1 hour. I'll look for a break in structure, and then I'll look for my other confirmations, and I'll be looking to take buy opportunities to the upside. Overall, we should expect price to trade down into this area today, and then perhaps from tomorrow we can start looking for some buying opportunities, some high risk buying opportunities, and obviously the medium to low risk buying opportunities as well. Oh wow, I sound like a weather forecaster right now. But anyway, that is what I see happening in this market going forward for today, and that is it from my side. Until next time, it has been a pleasure as always to share with you guys, and I am wishing you a blessed and a profitable trading day.